Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Monday, April 24th, 2017. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. The second phase of the beautification work for the Nevis Cultural Village began earlier today. Earlier today, the work officially began and Huey Sargent was on site to capture the second stage of the rehabilitation work.
Thank you very much, and I'm here at the Cultural Village where work has started for the refurbishing of this facility. Mr. Antonio Liebert, the Executive Director of the Culturama Secretariat, is here with me, and he's going to give us the updates as we look and see a pretty clear village right now.
Yes, we started to do some cleanup operations on the weekend. Over the past few weeks, we have asked persons to remove their boots from the village. They complied with our request, and so we were able to come in on the weekend with a backhoe and a truck and take up the remaining rubble and dispose of them. This morning we are here, and we have a work team who is actually dismantling the stage and the backstage area. And so we should be ready for the actual reconstruction phase of this project come next week, Tuesday.
Mr. Liebert, I noticed members from the IT department and other utility agencies would have come and would have begun their work in making sure that this facility is up and ready.
Yes, the utilities persons, they would play an important part in this reconstruction of the cultural village. The persons from the waterworks department, they would have to come in because they'd have to provide a supply of water for the operators of the boats. The electricians, they have been here this morning as well, looking at how we can supply the boats with their electricity. The contractor, she was here this morning along with, well, the architect and the contractor. They were here earlier this morning, laying out the final preparations for the commencement of the work next week.
Okay, in terms of the contractors, do we have, how many contractors we have, or is just one person doing the work? Well,
we have we have secured the services of two contractors. Mr. Elmos Grant, he's going to be working on the stage and the back room, the backstage area, and then we have Mr. Landlord. Mr. Walters, Landlord Walters, he's going to be the person looking after the placement of the containers, the construction of the bullpen, and we are going to be putting a VIP area here in the back. He's going to be responsible for that as well.
I'm Huey Sargent reporting from the site of the Cultural Village for the Nevis Newscast.
Thanks, Huey. The name of Nevis as a preferred tourist destination continues to gain momentum as the island's tourism officials seek more creative ways to market the island. Minister of Tourism, Honorable Mark Brantley, is thanking all who work in the industry for their hard work.
See that in this week alone, Nevis has been featured in perhaps 5 or 6 publications. We had a beautiful write-up by Melanie Reffies in Montreal, Canada. We had a beautiful write-up in USA Today by the same author. We had a beautiful write-up in CNN, on CNN, I'm sorry, which referred to Nevis, I think, as a must-see. You know, one of the places that you have to go to. The article in I believe Canada, in Montreal, said is Nevis the next hot destination or something like that. So I read that, you know, there's another article that appeared and said holidays for those who don't care about the cost, you know, in terms of the 1%ers, as they call them, the super high-end, super wealthy. Then Nevis again was top of the list. Nevis has also recently been named the most romantic destination in the Caribbean. And so we have been pushing that, and I want to give credit where credit is due.
Brantley was a return guest last Thursday on the show Government at Work, aired on Vaughan Radio on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Minister Brantley described the latest strategic marketing moves as ingenuity and innovation at work on a shoestring budget.
When I look at the press that Nevis has been able to get with little or no money, to get a full-page ad in some of these magazines might be $150,000 US. One ad. Nevis is able to get a full article in those ads for free because of how we have done the marketing. So in terms of land base, To just bring it full circle, we have done targeted marketing. We're going after certain groups. We have partnered with public relations, and we've partnered also with publications, various authors, various writers, various bloggers, because that's another big area where people are getting their content from online content in terms of blogging. So we've really reached out to people, and Nevis really sells itself. Huh?
One of the biggest markets for Nevis is the United States, and one of the best connections being explored is Alexander Hamilton. While he was born on Nevis, he is credited for being one of the founding fathers of the United States. His image is on the $10 bill.
What we're trying to use Hamilton and the connection with Nevis to do is now to promote Nevis, to say to people to come to see where this man was born and where he's had his formative years. It's one of the things I can say to you and say to the public is that we're currently working very closely with the United States Embassy in Barbados to identify a sculptor to do a life-size statue of Hamilton, which we would like to mount on the grounds where he was born, because we think that that would augment the experience for visitors when they come. So I 100% agree we should honor him. We should recognize him.
Other matters the minister discussed were training and airlift when he appeared on the show Government at Work. Training of young people continues to be a major focus of the Nevis Island administration. As Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister Mark Brantley said through diplomacy, the government continues to seek both full and partial scholarships for persons interested in training.
We have scholarships offered in places like Turkey. We have Mexico, Switzerland, New Zealand. We have, of course, the usual scholarships in Cuba and Taiwan. The truth of the matter is that we have expanded in dramatic fashion the number of countries that our children can now go to study. Our young people, not children, our young people can now go to study.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs noted while the existing opportunities tend to be academic, he has not stopped seeking opportunities for persons who may not be academically inclined.
We are now saying, listen, we not only want access to training for university, because that is 3 and 4 years. Can you give us also vocational training? So if a man wants to learn about AC, or a man wants to learn about mechanic, something of that nature, or you want to do some weaving or something. In fact, let me announce now, and I hope the people of Nevis take advantage, that again through my interaction with the ambassador from Indonesia, they have now agreed to do some workshops in Nevis in batik. So people can learn how to do batik as they do at Caribel Batik and St. Kitts. So these are things where they can come in for 2 weeks, pass on the skill set, get a trainer, and you can develop a cottage industry doing things. So I don't want the public out there to think that it's only about
the
academics or only about a degree. Sometimes you get a certificate in something just as good. And just let me punctuate that in terms of our healthcare. Quite a number of our nurses have been able to access training in Taiwan and even in Israel.
Interested persons in Nevis can contact Kevin Barrett at the Premier's Ministry for information on available scholarships. Still to come, the Ministry of Tourism officially launched its Children Calendar competition. The details when we return.
As a responsible taxpayer, you help to finance free health care at all health centers on Nevis. Thank you for putting country above self. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis. Be a responsible citizen.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Tourism officially launched its 2018 Schools Calendar competition earlier today at the Cicely Brown Integrated School. Communications Officer in the Ministry of Tourism, Sheila James, spoke briefly about the criteria of the competition.
Yeah, we're asking that all schools in Nevis participate in this competition. That's primary and secondary schools. What is actually mandatory is that it is a classroom effort and not individuals. Have we got that?
Yes.
And we're hoping that we're going to have lots more schools participate in this year's for next year's calendar competition. The theme for this year is anything tourism, the products of tourism. So that could be the hotels, the restaurants, the beaches, the food, places of interest, anything that's linked into tourism. This is an educational effort, and we're asking all schools to please try and participate this year.
In the 2017 competition, the Cicely Brown Integrated School won 7 out of the 12 entries. Principal of the school, Violet Jeffers, also encouraged persons to take part in the competition.
And that's what we like about this competition, is where everybody is able to put their little part on it. And not only that, what was really great, Sheila, was that we were able to raise $2,500 from the sale of the calendars, which is excellent for a school fundraiser. Give everybody a clap. Yay!
Well done, well done.
So it's an excellent competition to be involved in, and we need some more competition, everyone. So everybody, please join the calendar competition. That would be great.
The deadline for submission is Friday, September 8th, 2017. For more information, visit the Ministry of Tourism at the Social Security Building at Pinnes, or call them at 469-5521, extension 6447. World Immunization Week began today and has as its theme Vaccines Work. Nadine Carty-Keynes of the Health Promotion Unit hosted Health Matters and spoke to the coordinator of Community Nursing Services in the Department of Health, Ermine Jeffers. We'll have more details in this report.
The slogan for this year is Get Vaxxed to Celebrate a Healthy Tomorrow. According to Nurse Jeffers, there will be a celebration to honor the 15th anniversary celebration of Vaccination Week in the Americas.
We will be celebrating 15 of the region's vaccination-related public health achievements over the past 15 years. The celebration of these achievements is a huge milestone for all countries, EPI teams and healthcare workers. The message related to these achievements will be focused towards the health of the community. For the public audience, the slogan will encourage people to celebrate the fact that vaccines promote a healthy tomorrow by preventing diseases, and encourage people to get vaccinated, protect themselves and their families against vaccine-preventable diseases, and celebrate their health. The call to action for this audience is to get vaccinated and make sure their loved ones are vaccinated as well.
Jeffers gave a little detail about the activities for Vaccination Week 2017.
We have training of all nurses, both in St. Kitts and Nevis. We are going to be administering the DT vaccine to all diabetics, both in St. Kitts and Nevis, because, like I said before, after 10 years, we do need a booster dose of diphtheria and tetanus.
In 2016, the Department of Health held a Hepatitis B campaign where it was administered to law enforcement officers, environmental health officers, and employees of the Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority.
A lot of these persons did not complete their coverage, so I'm appealing to those persons to please come in during the course of this week to have their hepatitis B, so that they could be up to date with the hepatitis B coverage.
Nurse Jeffers was interviewed by Nadine Carty-Keynes in this week's edition of Health Matters. The program will be aired in its entirety this evening on Nevis Television.
And that brings us to the end of tonight's presentation of the Nevis Newscast. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Thank you for viewing. Good night.